And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Thursday, March 7th, 2024. I'm going to start here with the S&P. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, and I wanted to add one more factor, but I can go with that without it for right now. As I alluded to yesterday, it's like I presented the count. And I said, usually it takes the market about 30 seconds before it lets me know that how I've labeled the completion point is not happening. And I basically stated that yesterday. And that is the case today. So I'm going to bring this quite quickly down to well, actually, I want to go down to the 4-hour. That's where I wanted to start and just kind of go over. So still that remains the same. We're in that C wave. We're in the minor fifth wave up, and let me just open it up to show what I've changed. So I've left still in place the basics of what I changed yesterday, which 1, 2, 3, way up here, 4 for that, and then we're in wave 5. So we're in minute wave 5. And within that minute fifth wave, we're in minuet wave 3. So progressing along nicely, went to an additional new high today, which was a little bit, I was a little bit surprised because the NASDAQ got close and is basically likely going to hit that now versus earlier. I mean, they kind of come tumbling down. So I'm looking for the market to come back up and continue to improve. So the S&P got up to 5170 this afternoon, or actually, yeah, about 1 o'clock, and then spend the rest of the day pulling back. Now, I'm going to quickly bring it down. So again, leaving it pretty much no triangle. We're just a straight 5 up from minor wave 5, and even within minute wave 5, I've taken out the triangle pattern because it just continues to sort of follow it and then not follow it and then do follow it. So I don't see it anymore. And so I'm just going to be straight 5 waves up of minute degree to finish minor wave 5. Now, not a whole big, tremendous amount of change in terms of levels. So we're still, even within this third wave, looking for a break above 5,200. And the first one up, right, because here was 100%, where wave 3 would have been 100% of wave 1, and that was at 5,160. So next one up was going to be, and I am going to take that out because it's a little bit of support now, but it has no more resistance points to it, along with the 618. Oops, get rid of that and that. So really what comes up next is a 1.618, and that is at 5221. And what this is for minute wave 5 would be equal to minute wave 1, and that comes into 5196. Now, again, if we're playing it against what we see, wave 5 in terms of minute degree would not be complete. Wave 3 might complete, but then we had a 4 and a 5, and so this is likely to be exceeded before this is complete. So we would go up and we look at the next level up, and that's 5280. Once this breaks, in terms of a minute degree, the potential to get up to 5280 starts to come into play. Here, it's a third. And I would think the third should pretty solidly get up to 5221. Then we pull back, and then I'll put in an additional fib that likely is going to top us out up into here, because that tends to be where we're looking more to head, and that's where the cluster is now building, albeit the wave 3 is building up there versus, because that's what this 2.618 at 5319 goes along with the minuet wave 3. I would pretty much look at 5221 as a completion point, and that's all on the 4-hour chart. Let me bring this back down to the hourly chart, and you can see it was a beautiful rally. And although we got a quick sell, that was after the market closed, actually, or as the market closed, let me say. Yeah, right there. As the market closed, and it actually goes into that next hour. So I took this down. I'm going to go all the way down just to show you. I found it to be very, very bizarre and what happened in the market. 12-1. We're going to go right here. So we got it dropped. We came back up. We rallied and then came back down all to the same place. And I thought, did someone make a mistake or did something happen or could have been an earnings report? I actually was not at my computer at that time. So, but the NASDAQ did the same type of thing. It had like this boom and then a big bar back up and then a rally back up and a big bar back down. So I found that to be kind of interesting. At first I thought it's like, oh, fat finger, sold way more or sold when you should have been buying. So in any case, here we have it. Now, if we just take a look on these internals, here we have the wave one, the wave two, very deep, but did not break any rules. And now we're just rallying pretty intensely. Now, of course, there's a lot of talk about, why we're rallying, what we're doing, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all kind of a moot point because it is happening and it tends to be in the same cluster of stocks, one being Apple going in one direction, that's for sure. But Google recovered today. Meta did very well today. Microsoft recovered nicely today. Even Netflix, but it was NVIDIA. So again, we focus on the Mag 7, and it continues to be like the focus, unfortunately. But one other thing that I think really propels the S&P at the moment is there has to be the addition of super microcomputer SMCI, which is being added to the S&P. I think it's a part of the NASDAQ composite already, of course. So I've not heard or read anything like they're deciding they're going to put that in the NASDAQ 100 and drop something else out because they have to start calling it the NASDAQ 102. So again, we will see. So in any case, what I'm looking at here is within the wave through, we got a 1, a 2, nice 3, putting in the new high. In fact, I could kind of put this here just to kind of give a little bit of definition to what may still be yet to be done here. So basically, we just did the 100%. The 1.6 actually is 5202, and then here is 5221. So we got wave 3 coming up to 5202 on just the internal wave 3. And the outside, the minuet wave 3 coming up at 5221. So we might still, this may not be done, and we get this to rally up, then pull back, and then come back down to produce a fourth, and then rally again. So again, this just could be 1, 2, 3, and this is just an internal. So I'm actually going to take that off right now. But I don't think actually maybe it's not even beginning, or it's not even done. So let's give it the space that this 3 could rise one more time. I'm going to end up here. Then we pull back in a 4, and then we rise again in a 5, getting back up into these levels. Then we come back down in a 4, and we come back up, and we're likely going to end up here. Yeah, so the upper 5200s, 75, 80, all the way to 5300. And I am now thinking, it's like everybody's thinking that this could go through the month of March. I'm like, well, we're just kind of finishing tomorrow, the very first week of March. And we've gotten pretty far. So for this rally to just continue, it's like it could, of course. But again, a lot of cycle work is beginning to point. It's like, well, we're kind of having this blow off top now, and in anticipation that, oh, we're reaching the top. And then we've got a lot of cycles that'll be pointing hard down. But again, we shall see. We shall see. So, moving average wise, everything is in place. Everything remains in place here on the 1 hour chart. We got the 200, the 50, the 20, the 4, the 8 and the 4 all kind of sitting together right here. Market continues to hold slight gains. against the fact the NASDAQ is kind of going in the other direction. The Dow is down a little bit. Russell's up. So, and Russell, yeah, putting in a nice little rally. So again, I would anticipate that we will now start to move up and finish the fifth wave. And 5280 is where minute wave 5 would be 1.618 times the length of minute wave 1, and that's definitely in the picture. Because again, here, I think we're not even done with the third, so I think we go through this, maybe to there, and then come back down, and then the larger third up to here, come back down, and then we come back up into here. And the 1.618, 5280 comes into play along with the rest. And again, once I can get the minuet wave 3, minuet wave 4, then I've got another connection I can make between minuet wave 1 and minuet wave for minuet wave 5. All right, over in the NASDAQ, also presenting extreme challenges here. And so on the hourly chart, I had left it, so no changes really in how I labeled here, other than, minuet wave 1 of minute wave 5. So it's going to be much bigger than I believe would happen. Now, being that that was the one, and so again, I know gets all changed around yet again, but it's kind of the market. And then we have an ABC for minuet wave 2. So we're in the beginning stages, or we're now halfway through minuet wave 3. So let me go back down. Let's go to the 15-minute chart where I can get inside here and we can start to take a look as to what is actually happening, because this may not be the completion point for wave 3. We got close, but this, unless I come down into here, if I bring it down and I just look at the line chart, which is on a closed basis, we're down to here, and this is like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that works as a 5. And then this is an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, very quick. Doesn't fit as cleanly, but I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and then C. So we get a wave 2 down to this level, and then coming up, really kind of hard to kind of denote where our breaks would come so we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I come open it up here, it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, maybe? Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4? And it's going to be one lesser degree. So remove. And if I had to say 1, 2, if anything, yes, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, ABC 4, and then a 5 for the 3. Because that way we have the 1 is way down here, and it's not overlapping. So, internals. This 3, not done yet. Well, let me just open this up. Let me just kind of look. What am I doing? Yeah. So 1, 2. I think I got one more rise up before I can put the 3 on here. So let's just go over 1, 2, 2, 2. If I had to. I had to. This is how I would probably label it. And we're really kind of going down to some pretty small levels. And the 2 is going to be over here. Wow. I'm just doing this so I can fill in that blank so you all can see what I'm talking about. 1, 2, this is going to be the 3. Way up there. This is going to be the 4. No overlap, so it works much cleaner. Don't have to go down to the line chart. And so we're still looking for that 5th wave up. So I would put them in a different color so that they work clean. So we're distinguishing them. Put them in a smaller time frame. And so we're still looking for that fifth wave up now. And let me get all this in place. And then we'll go over and we'll add one more. It's not actually going to be all that much, but we'll see what we might want to get for a fifth wave. But with fourth wave, might not be done because the NASDAQ is coming off here pretty steadily. Yeah, but it's still way up here. All right. Not bad, not bad, but a little bit confusing. But that's the market right now. And that's all I keep telling you, and people, sometimes you believe me, sometimes you don't. It is a part of the topping process where you're starting to get what could be feeling like, oh, this is topped and that hasn't. Oh, this is moving and that's not. And this is going down, but this stock's going up. And really what's going on, is it still really a bull market, et cetera, et cetera. It's a bull move for sure because we're continuing to climb higher. But I do believe we're in the finishing stages of it. And it can get more violent in terms of moves internally. So if we keep it like this, 1, 2, and now we're breaking down even more, 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for that fifth wave up, might be underway here. The 4, we get a little 1, 2, and then we start to rally. We get above here. So if I had to, I could add one more layer, and we would be putting it on here to here, and it's not really going over very far, but far enough. Come on, get right there. Thank you. Come on. There we go. So here, the 100% is just a teeny bit above there at 18,364. And then we have additional 18,376, which is the previous. And then we have, where do we have that? All the way up here. So we got a lot of room up in here where it could just get above that 100. Doesn't necessarily have to get all the way up to 18,491 because here we have wave 3 here at 18,463, and that really was my area. And then we have minuet wave 3 coming in above like 18,453.63, and then we have all of this. So I would think that we're not necessarily in this fifth wave going to get all the way up to here. Maybe up to here we pull back in a 4. We pull back in this sub minuet wave 4, and then we come back up again, and we're really talking here into this zone, into this 3. So this 5 comes up to complete this 3. We're looking at here. We come back in a 4, and we come back up, and we likely either equal this or we come in a little bit higher. But it's all going to start to line up, and we're not done. Here it's 1, 2, we finish a 3, do a 4 and a 5. That puts in this 3, we do another 4, and we still rally. So all of these upper levels remain. Remember, blow off top still. And that's all I'm focusing on. If somebody else wants to call it something else, that's fine. I'm looking at this to see where this should come in. Because I want to tell you, again, whether it gets up to 19,000 or 20,000 or 18,800, when this thing is done and it decides it's done, I think it will be triggered by something that will really hit the markets hard. There will be no question that everything will go down. That's my feeling. That's my gut feeling. Now, here as well, when we're looking at all of this, our moving averages they turn into spaghetti when we're doing a corrective move, but then they get quickly back into alignment. And then what I'm talking about is there's the 200, the 50, the 20, the 8, and the 4 kind of cross it back over the 20, but they're much more sensitive to the moves. And then they'll get back in alignment, and then it's all in alignment just to kind of go up. This was similar. This was just like, okay, we're just buying. And as they moved into NVIDIA, which right now is trading up 11 off of where it closed. So, where's NVIDIA going to head to? Your guess is as good as mine, I suppose. But we're seeing just a lot going on. That's all I can say. There's a lot going on. And so we play it. And again, the trading today, it wasn't as strong as it was yesterday in terms of in the afternoon. We just had really great volatility up and down and up and down. And until we did have it today, and it was very swift and it was very quick after this strong walk, no relief, just a strong walk up. And then we just got to a point like everybody looking, okay, you're done, bam. And then it just walked its way back up, which is what you would expect if it's not complete. All right, this is where I'm going to end it. Let me just take a peek to see what we got coming out tomorrow morning. We have balance of the big time, the big right. So the U.S. non-farm payrolls, the U.S. unemployment rate, the U.S. hourly wages, that all comes out at 5:30 a.m. 7 a.m. somewhere, New York Fed President John Williams is talking. Now, whether he is, I would say he's not in this country going to be talking starting at 7 a.m. unless if it's a very early breakfast meeting in on the East Coast somewhere. So there we have it for tomorrow. Big story will be non-farm payroll, and that comes out before the market opens. After that, we're on our own. All right, that's where I am going to end this for right now. And yeah, I hopefully will get another Eye of the Storm podcast put up this weekend, and I'm going to try. I'm going to see. Last week, Sasha had other things that he had to attend to, but I'll be checking in with him to see if we're going to be able to do it together, because it will be a little bit more important. We are getting real close, and so I like Sasha's input, and so do you. All right. So the next update will be hopefully a podcast on Saturday. The next Elliott Wave update will be on Monday the 11th.